Hi there, Dr. Andrea Schnowske from Freedom Chiropractic and Holistic Health and our YouTube channel, Health and Horsepower. It is April 1st, which we know is April Fool's Day, but we know that I like to have a little fun, mix it up a little bit, and maybe call out some fools that have happened in the past and some of the foolish things that we do in our office just for fun. So, you may have heard that chiropractors are called quacks. Well, every April 1st, we have a duck hunt in our office because the only quacks you're going to find in our office are rubber duckies. When it comes down to it, the whole purpose of our duck hunt in our office is to call about some of the chiropractic history that's happened in the past and talk a little bit more about why chiropractors have been called quacks in the past. So you may have heard chiropractors get called quacks, and that really, it's a cute nickname, but the reality is there is so much history behind it that a lot of people don't realize. In the 1960s, the American Medical Association actually tried to put chiropractors out of business. They discouraged not only medical research from being public unless it was negative. So that means that any published studies about chiropractic only talked about the negative. They also prevented chiropractors from being able to order tests in hospitals. So things like MRIs, CT scans, other testing that could help their patients. Now, it's really kind of interesting when we look back at the history of this because there was not only isolation of chiropractors, basically forcing them to not be part of the medical field, called out as quacks, told that they can't cooperate, blocking referrals to other doctors to help their patients properly. They also restricted access to hospitals, and they even prevented collaborative research and even any positive studies about chiropractic. And finally, after 15 years in the courts, there was a landmark case where Wilk versus the American Medical Association, the American Medical Association was actually found to be guilty, and they were forced to retract their statements and all of their advertising, marketing, and defamation of the chiropractic field. However, after 15 years, a lot of people's minds had already been made up that chiropractors are quacks. They don't know what they're doing. They're not a real doctor. The reality is, chiropractors go to the same amount of schooling as a medical doctor would. We do internships while we're in school. So that means, on average, most chiropractors go to graduate school and undergraduate school for an average of 7 to 10 years to get their chiropractic license. So that means we are trained from a medical doctor to a chiropractor the same way in undergraduate. We get all the same sciences and things like that. The only difference is chiropractors are specialists. So we specialize in x-rays and musculoskeletal conditions and diagnoses of the spine and the joints, whereas most medical doctors get more pharmacology training so they can prescribe medications, surgeries, and do more organ type of systems rather than spinal column and joint type of specialty. So again, chiropractors are doctors. They went to school, they went through a lot of training to get their degree, to get their licensure, and they're also required on a 3-year basis, because that's how often chiropractors have to renew their license, to get 200 credit hours of continuing education. That means that they have to go to formal continuing education training, whether they do that online and in person. They have to be reading medical articles and journals to be staying up to date. They have to be consulting with their colleagues so that everybody is up to date and staying educated and staying relevant so that we can practice evidence-based medicine. That means we look at the evidence, we look at what's coming out in the research so that we can give you the best care possible to help people. What's really interesting to me is when it comes to musculoskeletal conditions, so things like headaches, neck pain, back pain, joint pain, chiropractic is one of the safest options available out there because we know, number one, how to treat your musculoskeletal system, but we use conservative care. That means we are not prescribing medications. We're not doing surgeries. We're not doing injectables. Typically, we're focusing on how do we restore motion to the joint and how do we help your body heal itself so that you have long-term results that last. So there's a little bit of education, but if you want to have some fun, make sure you stop at our office April 1st and see if you can find a rubber ducky hidden around our office. Have a great day.
Grin and laughs like a suffering one. It's cold and as my mouth runs out how many times